Hello, how's everyone doing tonight? Glad you can join us.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, I got some people tonight. Okay. Who was that just spoke?
Cavell Bansa.
Cavell. How you doing, Cavell?
I'm good. How are you?
All right. Glad you can join us. Can y'all hear me good? Everything's good sound-wise? I'm just getting a few things prepared. We'll start. I'm gonna give people time. Usually, I don't know if that's Serena or Karina, but how you doing? Right. So y'all must want to learn about some content. All right.
I'm not hearing you, love.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Did it come back in? Okay, there we go. So I have a little microphone, so it picks up pretty good. All right. So as I was saying before, and now let me know if I'm too loud because it can pick up really good. I like this. Y'all talking, getting feedback. This is good. All right. So, show of mics. I like conversation. So, who all is going to be active with me tonight? Cavell, I already got you. You already came off mic. Who else going to talk with me? Want to get some back and forth, get some knowledge about your industry or your business? Who's willing to talk tonight? Let me get a show of unmutes or hands in the chat. Oh man, don't be
I
scared.
can too.
Who is that?
I can too, Serena.
Serena. All right. Oh, Naya, you back? How you doing? All right. So we got Cavell.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm glad to see you back again.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So we got quite a crowd tonight. So, if anyone has been with me before, like Naya, she's been on some classes before. Tonight, we are talking about content do's and don'ts. Now, I did teach a authenticity around content, how to create authentic content a few months ago. So some of this will mirror, especially at the beginning, because I always start with a base of what content is, why it's important, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll see some similarities if you've been with me before. But in between, we're gonna get to the meat of how to pull out content. A lot of people are like, okay, I got stuff, I got products, I got services. I don't know what to post and I don't even know who, what, I don't know. It's a lot. Social media is a lot. And so tonight we're going to figure out how to identify, kind of who you are, what that means to your audience, and trying to figure out how to get to the needs and the wants of your audience. Like, what do they need? What do they want? And how what you have can help them in their daily lives. So that's the premise for tonight. So all right. I think I gave enough time for you to come in at 6:05. We are recording. And so along the way, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna ask for questions. I'm also gonna call on some people because I like to apply it to real world situations. And so just like interaction. So I don't want to just talk to you. I want somebody in the crowd to be able to get something from it. And really quick, everybody who's here, you don't have to come off mic, but if you can put in the chat what your business is and what do you offer. So I'm Darius from Bujoy Media, and I offer services that help businesses connect with their audience better. Is where I do that on the production side, and I do that uh, on the marketing and branding side. So I can help you with strategy, and I can help you implement it as well. Once the strategy is complete, so that's what I do. So if you want to put, "Hey, my name is Bob, and I do landscaping," you can do that as well, and it's called Bob's Landscaping. So put in the chat. I want to see some of those. I just want to talk to some people. I just took a picture because this is a nice size class. No business here as a part of a college class. Lab. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, we hope you learned something tonight, Mary. You might want to start a business by the end of the night. So there we go. Hair salons with an S. Okay, Rhonda. Farmers market, local food. Ooh, Maria, I need to holler at you because me and my wife been trying to plant some stuff, grow some stuff, and get into that. So yeah, I do. Okay, again, Cavell, I might need you. I'm about 3 months overdue for a retwist. Jacksonville, I've heard specialized in wearable art. Okay, decent jewelry. All right, we got a jewelry shop. Okay, and you do and offer jewelry workshops. Awesome, awesome. Curriculum designer. Cool. I love to see the diversity in business as well. Celebrity fashion designer. I ain't just a fashion designer. I'm a celebrity fashion designer. That's what I'm talking about, Michelle. We got to hear a little bit more about that. Okay, on the go massage. Avon ambassador, small ministry. Awesome. I'm loving it. So, all right. So we're gonna get into it really quick. I'm loving to see the diversity in the amount of businesses. And so let me get my screen shared. All right, y'all let me know if y'all can see that. All right, y'all can see the screen. Awesome. 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 Okay. All right, let me get my fancy clicker. Let me see if it's gonna work for me tonight, because it'd be tripping. No, it ain't gonna let me be great. I see how it is. Come on now. Okay, it ain't gonna let me be great. All right, old school left and right button it is. All right, so we're gonna go to the first slide. My name is Darius Carr. I am a media director, brand strategist, speaker, et cetera, et cetera. I started in media productions, 15 years ago. Just doing videography, photography, graphic design. And along the way, I'm working with brands and companies and people all over the world. I'm trying to be like Michelle. I work with some celebrities, but some like Tabitha Brown and Eric Thomas. He's a motivational speaker. I shoot for him sometimes. And so work with some cool people, but along the way, in working with businesses, I got tired of handing over just stuff. Like, hire me to do a video. I do a great video for a brand or for a company, but I realized that when I hand that video over or those photos or graphics or whatever I do, and I look at the overall brand, and I'm like, oh, let me see how they applied what I did for them, and I would see that the brand and the marketing was just, eh, it could be a lot better. And so I didn't want people, and I've heard it before, where they would say, oh, I paid all this money and the video didn't even work. Well, it was not the video. It was not the photography. It was not the thing. It was the fact that you thought, or whoever it was thought, that a video was going to save their business, or it was going to like miraculously change everything without a strategy on top of it. And so a video alone, or a photo alone, or your logo is not the issue. If you're not getting clients, a new logo ain't gonna miraculously bring in clients. You got to have a strategy around everything that you do in order to be intentional about connecting with the audience that you want to connect with. So I got tired of just handing over just videos and just content, and I wanted to teach people about it. So now I help people 360 or 180, whatever they say, from start to finish. And we really build out strategies to help them connect with their audience. So tonight is content creation. So usually I have like brand identity, uh, authenticity around content. Tonight is more of a do's and don'ts. And I'm also going to take you through some activities. We're going to skip through a few things because this is a really robust presentation, but it's really about do's and don'ts, things you should be doing, things you should not be doing, and things that can help you enhance your content creation skills. All right. So, what is content? For businesses, content is a relationship building tool for them and their audience. People connect to stories and visuals. Creating content allows you to build trust, grow your brand, and share your voice or help others. So that's basically what content is. The history of content. So content used to be a partnership between like TV companies, radio stations, print advertisers. They created the media, businesses chose where to advertise based on who aligned with their brand. So if I'm selling laundry detergent, and at back in the day before social media, and this is not to put anybody in a box or whatever, but back in the day, a lot of times women were the main ones who like did laundry. So I need to put my product in front of a TV show where a lot of women will be watching TV at the time. Or if I'm doing, and I'm just going with typical kind of stereotypes here, if I'm selling tools, I'm gonna go put it in front of shows back in the day like MASH, or stuff where you'll see men watching certain content, because the content was the TV show. The content was was that a raised hand? I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I thought I saw raised hand. But the content was the show. It was the thing. It was the what got people in one location. And so if I'm trying to appeal to men and women, or a wider audience, I go to more family oriented content like game shows and sitcoms, stuff like that, where the family might be sitting down watching. And so that's where I might advertise my restaurant or my toys, because I know kids might be watching, or toilet paper, because everybody needs toilet paper. And so that used to be the content relationship when it came to businesses and content. So somebody did the content, somebody provided the product and the service, and money was made in the advertisement part of that relationship. And so, all right, that's a little bit about the content. I just want to give a brief history, but this is where we're really gonna start. This presentation is just words. If you have not made up in your mind that you have something of amazing value in you that could change someone's life, make someone's day, or help someone solve a problem, and I fully believe you do if you found yourself in this class. So you ain't got to come off mic, but say it out loud. Ideas meet me when I move. Ideas meet me when I move. So a lot of it is this next slide. is you got to just start. So all these things I'm about to teach you is great, all these tips, but I want to get you to thinking like, hey, throw all this out the window after we finish this class tonight. Am I ready to just start? To just hit record, to just create, to upload, to connect with people? Are you ready to just start? For most people, if they could just start, this class would end here. Like I'd be already done. I'm willing to bet that this is what's holding back 90% of the people who struggle with content. And I know this because I was the same way. And I'm just going to be real with you. I'm still somewhat the same way, but I got people around me who push me. And I found my niche where I am teaching people this stuff. And so my content helps me help people. And that's what I keep in mind. Now, what's that face? What you got for me?
If nobody told you to come on here in our business.
No, I'm in my business. You just happen to be here. So it's I'm really talking to myself because I had to tell myself a lot of these things. And so and I know, and that's why I start with this because yeah, starting is the hardest part. And so just start. So I honestly want to challenge people right away is tonight or tomorrow. I would love for everybody to hit record, do one video about your business or what you got going on, or you can just teach people something that's a part of your business. So Naya, I know that you do, was it home screenings for like blood tests and stuff?
Yep, mobile phlebotomy.
Mobile phlebotomy. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you can teach somebody something like, hey, did you know that you can actually get a phlebotomy test in the comfort of your own home? Most people are scared of going to the doctor. And so what I offer is a solution. You call me up, I can come to you, meet you where you are, and you can get your test done right then and there. Boom. Teach people something that they didn't know. Because I sure didn't know it until you told me last time. And so that I challenge everyone to get all the excuses out your head. My hair ain't done, my clothes, my this, my that, and just hit record and upload it and leave it up for a week. See what people say. And I did this. I have my own events, and so I did this at my last event. Made people do, and some people actually, one person got about 40 shares on their reel. A person that don't usually post end up getting 40 shares from the reel that she made from the last event that I did. And I did this challenge. And in the first, luckily y'all are virtual, but I had them do it right away. So the first 10 minutes of the class of the workshop, I said, hey, we're gonna stop right now and y'all go do a reel, put it up and engage with every comment that you get on that post. Talk to the people. And so it's meant to get you out of that excuse phase saying, oh, I don't have everything, or I'm not good on the fly, or I gotta have a script written out, or I don't know what to say. If you are in your business every day, if you are doing this all the time, you should never run out of things to say. Because if I asked you and it wasn't content, you could probably spit it off like it won't nothing. And so you gotta like content is more about documenting more than it is about creating. And so the people who have figured out how to document, they have a better outcome than the people who are just trying to come up with stuff to create to do. You already in motion. You already doing it. You already what we got here? Started my business. Ooh. There you go. There you go. So I love that. Who is that? Christina. That's what it's all about. Getting out of your shell. And so I want to create momentum for everybody here. I want to challenge you tonight or tomorrow. Just do one reel, either educating people or talking about your business. And matter of fact, you can do it right now. Not right now, but right after this thing. Or uh, I challenge you again. I know it's late, so that might be a little thing here, but do it tomorrow and tag me. Bujoy Media, Bujoy. Uh, I'll put it in the chat. Somebody got their hand raised?
I did. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
What with you saying post and the real, I don't know how, but what do you feel about voiceovers? Like showing how to do something in a voiceover. I know it's not the same, but can that kind of be a start? Or no, you just want full head go in.
No, that's the start. That's content. Yeah, your voice is still there, and we're gonna go over that a little bit later in the class, but you don't have to be on camera. Now, human faces do get 38% more interaction. People like to see human faces when they see content, but you don't have to. It's people with million subscriber platforms who never show their face. I always use it as a reference. It's a lady called the spreadsheet lady. And she started by literally just showing people how to use spreadsheet. And she never showed her face. She show it now, but she never showed her face. She just showed you how to do the stuff. And so many people like followed her and tuned in and learned that her platform grew to millions of followers. Like, so you don't have to put your face on it. It's really just, but you have to put up something that can connect with your audience. And so, and I remember now you had a particularly unique selling point. So your audience still trying to find that will be uh, a challenge, but hopefully tonight we can learn some more. So, all right. Oh, somebody there, Mary Wallace says she resonates with voiceover tutorials. I'm loving this. Y'all are active. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so that's my challenge. Tag me. I put my page in the comments. So tag me. I would love to see your reels, and I want you to get some momentum going. So before we even learn a thing, I want you to get in your mind. I'm gonna do some content tonight or tomorrow, and I'm gonna take out all those excuses. You don't need all the stuff you think you probably need to start. All right. Look at Nicole already. Move. I was planning on doing the voiceover tonight. Let's get it. I love to see it. All right. So, come on. There we go. 4 purposes of content. So, when you're doing content, and I put this first because a lot of times people are doing content, they think they're just doing it to get followers or to get likes or stuff. They just think they should be doing it because people are telling them to do it. In a sense, yes, you should be doing content. It's not a necessity. The reason why content came into play because, like we said, TV used to do the content, but the world got a lot smaller and a lot bigger at the same time with the internet. And so content is meant to build a relationship. That's all you're doing is you're putting things out, hoping that the person that you're trying to reach on the other end connects with it, and you start to build a relationship. It is not the end all be all. And we did platform proof. Did I do that with Coastal? But did a thing called platform proof. It's just the start. It's not where you keep people. Yeah, you might have a million followers on Instagram or wherever. Don't keep them there only. You should be moving them over into an email list to your own things that you own, your own website, your own whatever landing page. You should be moving those people somewhere, not just giving them information just right there. Hey, I need you to move over here and go do this and go sign up for that and check me out over here because you own those other things. You don't own Facebook. Because if Facebook shut down tomorrow, you done built your whole platform on Facebook, then you kind of be so out of luck. So purposes of content is awareness. That's the first one. And these aren't steps. You should be thinking about all 4 of these whenever you do content. You don't have to hit all 4 bases with every piece of content, but you should have one of these purposes in mind with every piece of content you do. Am I making people aware of what I'm doing? Make people notice you. Consideration. Help prospects evaluate you. This is where you give proof. This is where you get reviews and testimonials. They're considering getting you and hiring you for their business. What are you doing to help them with that consideration? What are you doing to show them this is why you should come, work with me or hire me or book me? Consideration. Are you making content that builds that consideration and closes that gap? Conversion. Now they consider you. What kind of content are you making to get them to convert over into a customer? And so turn content into customers and community and retention. What are you doing to keep them and to grow loyalty? We all are a part of some loyalty program of some sort. I don't care if it's Speedway, gas station, Kohl's. I don't care if it's Sam's Club. Somewhere along the way, somebody has convinced you to join a club. That's a community. You feel special when you walk into Sam or BJ's or something like that. You got your card, your membership, and now you get them deals. You get all this stuff awarded to you because you're part of an exclusive club. What are you doing to make people want to keep coming back and create loyalty? So every piece of content, either you're building awareness, you're giving them something to consider, you're converting them into a customer, or you're doing something to keep them coming back. So if you do content and you look at it and you ask yourself one of these questions, am I building awareness? Am I doing, and you're not finding that in your content, you might want to go back and reevaluate the content that you do. And I always use this metaphor is we don't want bulletin boards at all. So I always ask this, 2 or 3 people raise their head, but when the last time you walked by a bulletin board, stopped, looked at something, and then engaged with it? You might have walked by, you might have glanced over, but most people keep walking nowadays. So if you're just posting like, oh, here's some information, here's information, here's information, here's information, here's information, and you're just putting flyers up or graphics, and it's no point to it, you're creating a digital bulletin board that as I'm scrolling, I'm going to just go right on by, and I'm not going to engage with it. So if you're not doing one of these 4 things, you're creating a digital bulletin board. All right. So content do's. Start with the goal. What is the goal of this content? And we're going to go over how to identify goals properly a little later. Every post should drive awareness, engagement, or conversion. Lead with a hook. The first line or 3 seconds should grab attention. So a lot of people like to over edit when it comes to videos. You got something swooping in slowly. You got graphics coming up and the stuff's flying it. That's fine. But if it ain't catching attention and they gotta wait, or you gotta fade in, a slow fade in of a video, you just lost the person because they just scrolled for the last 10 minutes and they saw somebody dancing to Chris Brown. They saw somebody doing a challenge. They saw somebody doing something crazy. And you want to capture their attention in the midst of all that craziness. So you got all this extra graphic-y stuff that don't really matter, and it take 10 seconds to just get to what the point of the video is, you're going to lose people very fast. They're going to be gone before they even get to the meat of what you're trying to give them. And so show faces. Now, we just said this, but human faces increase engagement by 38%. You don't have to, but people like to see interaction. You must know my TikTok algorithm. I mean, it's mostly the same these days, when you on these platforms. Be consistent. Use brand colors, and you got to have brand color. You got to have something consistent. And I'm gonna say this: if you knew a person, and every time you was around that person, they talk different, they walk different, they look different, they were never the same. They always changed based on the environment they was in. A lot of times it's hard for us to trust people like that because we feel like they're not being themselves. And so if you haven't picked brand colors or, or got your tone or your visuals or things that are consistent throughout your brand, if you haven't chosen that and you just, everything is different, all the fonts are different, You got script over here. You got big bold letters over here. It's hard to really trust the brand. It's always changing and always doing something different. Unless that's the brand. You have to establish that early. If you're in the art, that's gonna be different if you're doing art pieces. And but even in art, people got styles. Like Monet had a style, or Van Gogh had a style. Like they had, things that when you looked at their paintings, it was similar. You can pick out a Picasso when he did his cubism, and so people knew, oh, that's Picasso. So branding been around for a long time. And so, but if you're all over the place with your brand and you're picking colors like, oh, I like this purple, I like this color here, oh, I like sparkles, and you just throwing stuff in just to throw it in, you will lose trust with your audience. They don't know what to hang their hat on. They don't know who you are. They don't know. Most brands we follow, we've seen them over and over. We shop there, we go there, we eat there because we know what we're going to get when we go. So be consistent. And so add value, teach, inspire, entertain, or help solve a problem. If you're doing one of these, you're guaranteed to build your following. You're guaranteed to make a connection. If you're teaching people, if you're inspiring people, if you're entertaining people, or if they are stumped on something. And so somebody might, again, be scared of hospitals. And now you do that video of, hey, did you know that you can have people come to you? Like, I hate dealerships. I hate car salesmen with a passion. I don't hate the person. I hate the practice of car salesmen. Now, when I heard about Carvana, I'm like, man, so I can just like order a car that like it come to me, like, oh shoot. I haven't did one yet because I had my car for the last 6, 7 years. But I'm looking into alternatives like that next time I buy a car because I don't want to deal with the dealership experience. And so if I saw a video of somebody teaching me or showing me the process of, hey, did you know that you can order a car, they come right to you, they pull up to your driveway, and they're showing that process, then you just got me. You just taught me something. I didn't know that was a thing. And so, yeah, you want to teach, inspire, entertain, or help solve a problem. So, after the don'ts, I'm gonna ask for some questions. All right, so content don'ts. Don't post without a plan. Don't. And now, when I say this, I'm gonna preface this. We are in a small business workshop, so I'm approaching everything in this workshop as business or organization or something you're trying to get people to see. It's people who post without plans, who got mass followers, but they're more of lifestyle. Like they just connect with people. They just making people laugh. But even then, I got friends and family with millions of followers, stuff like. And even though it seems like it's not planned, it's still very strategic on what they say, how they say it, when they do it, and what they're talking about. So it may look sporadic, but lifestyle people who are just doing content just to be doing it, they typically don't have a lot of plans around their stuff, and they still build followers. But I'm speaking to the guys business when you start asking people to spend money. And so don't post without a plan. Don't use long paragraphs and too much text. You actually will get penalized. Like if you put up long text, the algorithm is like, don't nobody want to read all that. We're not gonna show this to nobody. Like, they realize how much thought you have to put into being credible. Yeah, it's a lot of thought that goes into it. Uh, People keep it simple. I work with a lot of nonprofits, and so problem with a lot of nonprofits when they're doing content is they think everybody care about all the words that they, we in cross sector partnerships, we collaborate with, and make initiatives. And nah, people hungry, we feed people, and this how you can help. That's all you got to do. Like they don't need to know all the back end, all those intricacies. Is you have to just break it down like my rule is a 10-year-old, because studies show that across the board, uh, America and Americans, their IQs are going down. And I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, But if you can't explain it to a 10-year-old, then you're probably over explaining. And so you want to reach people where they're at. And that's not to say nobody is smart or intelligent, but if you look at the studies, like because of certain things, social media, and things of that nature, IQs, attention spans, all of that is going down. And so you want to just give people the problem, the solution, and the call to action. What's the problem? What's the solution? How can you help? And this is where you can go and find and help or sign up. That's it. This is where you can go to buy my product. Hey, I'm a healthy chef that made a recipe book for people with diabetes. So if you struggle with finding healthy recipes and you're diabetic, go to my website of healthydiabetic.com and sign up, get your free ebook on, and you're gonna get 10 recipes today. Boom. From that interaction, you just sent them to your website. They just probably signed up for something. You just captured the email and you just got a phone number. And so all of that just happened. And regardless, and now they're looking around your website. You might get a purchase because then they got the free ebook, but then they saw you had a bigger book. Then they saw that you had an online community that where other diabetics are in. And oh, I can sign up for this. And it's only $5 a month for me to join. So it leads to more things, but that's why I said it ain't enough to just have a good video. When people show up after they watch that video or after they see that content, what are they coming to? Do you have everything else in order as far as your website, your links and all of that stuff? All right, so sorry. Don't copy other trends without context. This is not to say you can't use trends, but make sure you put a caption on screen or you put something on screen saying, like sometimes, and some people like it, some people don't. But I've seen like home health nurses dancing with their patients, having a good time, and they'll put when your patient says he wants to dance, one last time or something like that. They might work in hospice or something like that. You're doing a trend, maybe again, go back to a Chris Brown trend where you're dancing and you put that at the top of your screen. When your patient want to dance one last time. That tugs on heartstrings. Now you know the patient is involved. You gave context to why you're using this trend versus just dancing with a patient. And then now you got outrage in the comments of, do they know you're posting this? You give that context. And so don't forget captions or accessibility. Um, with captions are important because you got people who, are hearing impaired, but even have people who may be watching reels at work or in a quiet place, and you don't want to alienate those people. So captions allow people to keep the volume off and allow them, if they're scrolling, you get the text across the screen and they can read it right away to see if they're interested or not in that content. So captions are very important to a video. So don't forget accessibility when you're doing content. And all this sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot of moving parts, but once you get the hang of it, that's why I said just start. You're gonna find your voice. You're gonna figure all this out. The reason I can teach all this is because somebody just did it and people studied the success of those people. And they were like, well, I see that they're doing this and they're doing this and they're doing this, and it's connecting with a lot of people. And so they, people did studies on many different influencers and content creators of these are the things that work. Somebody had to start somewhere. Instagram didn't release a manual on content, but people have studied the people who just started and the people who, set the way. All right. Any questions before I go to the next section? All right. How do you put captions on a video? Okay, so now that's crazy. I don't even have a captions tutorial, but most platforms have a caption option. And because this was do's and don'ts, I didn't. Some stuff is in the weeds, but if you go on Instagram, they have where you can add captions to a video once you uploaded it to post. You can edit, add captions, stuff like that. It's also, and at the end, I do have software lists that do all of this stuff. I just didn't put the steps to put in captions, but it actually is an app called Captions that if you download it, it will actually, even if you have to do it in multiple languages, say you're in English but you trying to reach a Spanish community, it will actually translate it, do all of that for you in other languages. So it's called Captions. Simple as that. It's my favorite one to add captions, but any video editor nowadays that does mobile stuff will have a captions option. So yeah. But yeah, any platform you upload it to, say you're uploading to TikTok, Instagram, and before I send this presentation out, I can add that to the end. But just look up how to put captions in Instagram or in TikTok. It's not hard at all. It's literally like 2 clicks and you can put it in there. Yeah, Nicole. Yeah, yeah. Now, if it's working, now if you're seeing the results that you want and people are like buying or engaging, then you're good. If you're not seeing a lot of engagement or the results, then yeah, definitely you should expand. Nicole asked, I've only done Facebook Lives where I talk and show a product because I do not want to be on camera. I need to expand, don't I? So that was, yeah, it only depends on your results. So I know people who don't show their face, and they got good results because they explain very well. They shoot the product very well. It's very visible, and so they get by pretty well. But it all depends on your results and what you're trying to achieve with that. So yeah, but expanding will not hurt. People love to see somebody on camera. Like I don't like to be on camera, can't stand it. But I know that now me talking is engaging with the class. So yeah, I'd rather be behind the scenes. That's why I'm a photographer. All right, content strategy. So content strategy is a plan for what you'll say, who you'll say it to, and where it will live, and how will it drive business outcomes. It's your map for making the right stuff for the right people at the right time. So on the next section, we're going to go into how to craft a strategy. And so some of this, because now I did make a content strategy toolkit. And so I'm still testing it. I got about 5 businesses going through that toolkit and using it to see how it helps them, and they're giving me feedback. So what I did was pull some of the resources from my toolkit that I made. And so I'm not going to go too in depth with those, but when the presentation comes out and they send y'all these slides, it's meant for you to follow it, and then you do your version of it. And I left blanks in there for you to go and fill out stuff yourself. And so let's get into content strategy. All right, content strategy formula. I love formulas because they make complicated things simple. And so when you're looking at content strategy, is you're taking who you are. Who are you? Your passions, your talents, your quirks, your goals, your motivations, your personality. Who are you? What do you offer? Like I'm a guy, I'm from the country, like to laugh, I do music, I like connecting with people. That's some of my personality. I love movies. And so what do I offer? Products, services, peace of mind, happiness, solutions, education. And so growing up, I had a 7-year younger sister. I said it all wrong. And then, so I did a lot of teaching, a lot of showing, a lot of showing her how to do things. And so that built a teachery bug in me to where I always teach people. Long before I was doing this, I always teach somebody something wherever I go. And so because of my personality and my passions and my goals, pairing that was natural. Is pairing my, and also I'm creative. And so I create things. So combining creative with my teaching bug, that's what I'm offering now to you guys. Who is my audience? Anybody who is struggling with branding and marketing and connecting with their audience, that's who I want to speak to, and that's who I want to help. And what do they desire? They desire to get better results in their business and to connect with more people so they can get their product, service, event, or organization in the right hands. And so, boom, just going down the line, you can almost feel that out and kind of see how it builds itself. And so that's why I use this formula in everything that I do. Even when I'm helping businesses, when they come to me to like do their strategy and all that stuff, I take them through this formula to figure that out. And so we're gonna walk through it really fast. All right. So who are you? And it comes from the toolkit. Let me zoom in. And if you follow this worksheet in my toolkit, like you'll be able to spit out like kind of profile, kind of a personality thing, and from who you are when it comes to doing content for your business. And so you pick 3 traits. Am I kind? Am I funny? Am I brave? Am I curious? Am I calm? Am I helpful? Sporty, artsy, sciencey. You get to feel this is more of, these are my traits. These are part of me. And you pick 3 of these, because all content can't be the same. You might teach on some, you might be silly on others, but figure out which ones you are, because that'll help you set the basis for the type of content that you do. And so if we go down, so check your content tone. Okay, so the helper, do this next. And these are things that you say in the video. If you're a helper type, you want to guide people through things. You want to help people get through things. If you're the friend, you kind of approach it from more of a conversational tone. Like last week, guess what happened last week? Last week, I was doing a house call, doing phlebotomy, and I went in and this happened, and blah, 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 and you tell a story around it. The coach, you want to give people, here's a simple way to win at this. You're giving people tips, practical things to do, because you have a coach kind of vibe to you. The artist, look how I made this. And then you just record yourself creating some art behind the scenes, and then you show the end piece. I think we had an artist who in here who made jewelry and some other stuff. Who was that? Was that Serena? Yep, it was Serena. And so yeah, you show people how you make the things that you make. And so some people be scared, like I don't want to show people what I'm doing, how I'm doing. They might steal it. Hey, listen, it's up to you. I get it. But at the same time, you are you. Ain't no other you like you. And so people might imitate it, they might copy it, but they not you. They don't do it in the way that you do, and they don't approach it the same way you approach. So you can show people, you can teach people, but if you scared somebody gonna take it and run with it, and it's not to say you show your whole process, you give away everything. It ain't saying you showing your suppliers and where you get your stuff from. You just documenting the process, because you make stuff all the time. You're creating things all the time. Why not cut on the camera and show them what you're doing? You can do it sped up if you don't want to see everything. You can do like a time lapse where you blah, 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 and then you show the end result. But an artist person usually shows their process. The science person, all right, y'all. So I tested this, and here's what happened. So I called 3. Nadia, I'm picking on you the whole night. I called 3 phlebotomists to my house just to see who was the most friendly. We got 4 in our city, Raleigh, or I forgot where you were from, and I think you're Greensboro area, if I'm not mistaken. But I want to see who's the best home phlebotomist in the area. So I called 3 of them. I'm gonna see how their customer service is on the phone, how easy it was when they take my blood, and how smooth was the process. And so I'm gonna test this out and see who's the best in the game. And so that's the scientist part, the person that likes to test out things. The adventurer. I tried this for the first time. Listen, I was scared. I ain't know, like, again, that people come to your house, but I let them in. Can y'all believe that? My paranoid self. I tried something. I jumped out there and I was fearless, and I tried something, and it was smooth. I bought a car online, and they came right to my door. I didn't know if the car was gonna show up, they won't take my money, or what. But I tried it. The adventurer. Everything feels like an adventure when they do content. So these are your tones that you can go through. You pick, which one you feel like you are, and you mix it with those top three things, and you start to build a profile. You start to build a profile because next you go to energy. You can be a curious scientist figure with medium energy, which means, I'm curious. I like to try stuff, but I'm not like high energy, like Bill Nye the Science Guy. I'm more of a professor type. Like, so in today's world, a lot of stuff is going on. So I want to test out some theories and I want to do, so I got three things, I got three phones here. I got the iPhone, I got the Samsung, and I want to see which one takes the best pictures. See, my tone ain't really exciting, it ain't really, but it's you figure out which one you fall in the spectrum. All right, so listen, I wanted to see who has the best phone. Is it iPhone, is it Samsung, or is it the Google Pixel? So today we're gonna boom. So you got high energy. You come in strong, and don't try to fake it. It's okay if you got low energy. You're just going to appeal to the people who appreciate low energy. And then the people who like high, a lot of stuff going on, they're going to go to the people with high energy. It's somebody for everybody. You're not trying to reach everybody. You're trying to reach the people you are meant to reach. And so your tone, are you professional? Do you say all the right things? Are you just normal? Or are you super casual? So that got messed up. Supposed to be normal and super casual. They say normal super. I gotta fix that. But are you casual? Are you like me? I'm kind of in between, a little professional, but I might say something like, what's up, man? How you doing? What's good with you? Like, I'm gonna still use that even when I teach, because I just want to be myself. I'm not a stuffy. I ain't even grow up that way, so I can't even pretend. So social media, if you find your niche, you can do. That ain't me. I can't do it. That's not my style. So story level. Do you give a few facts? Do you like short stories? Hey, so the other day I walked in the mall and this blah, 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 and this happened. And could you believe when I walked by, girl smelled my cologne and she was like, "What you got on?" And then I turned around and said, "I got on blah blah blah." And she went and bought that for her husband right away. Short story. Or big story. Y'all remember who TF did I marry? That 50 some video series of the girl talking about, who she married and all the craziness that went on. That was 50 videos, probably more. And people were tuning in, waiting for those videos to drop. But still ain't watched 2, 3 of them. I went and got the summaries from the people who summarize. I like short stories. My attention span, I got ADHD, like diagnosed. I ain't about to sit there and watch 50 videos. I just can't do it. So she's not for me in the way that she delivered it, but the person who summarized what she said was my kind of person. So I followed their content, but not really hers. And so, yeah, people got different ways of receiving information. And so, oh, come on. All right, there we go. All right, check communication style. So you got the talker, you got the writer, you got a graphics or a visual person, and you got the interviewer. So all these are different type of ways people like content. So are you naturally a talker? Do you like speaking on camera? Can you communicate well with people? And do you just like conversation first? And some people are not. Some people can put their thoughts out in writing way better than they can talking. So they might not be a content creator in the sense of visual. They might have blogs. They might have It's a thing now called Substack. Or they might take something and write it and put a visual to it later. I recorded videos from this page, but then never posted them. I I am a huge introvert. Christina, I fully uh, ride with you there. I'm the same way. And what's crazy is usually introverts, when they finally do, make some of the best content creators because they have thought through, and once they break that barrier and they bust through, they tend to have the most insightful, the most impactful content. That's not to say nobody else does either, but introverts tend to. It takes them longer, but when they come through, it's good stuff. I don't want to put myself out there because I'm just, Nicole, you know what? And I don't even know you. You may be weird. You may be a dork, but it's other weird people who feel like they're dorks too. And so that's the beauty of content. And I ain't calling you that. This is what you said. So that's okay. Do you know it's somebody who I'm 35 years old and I grew up, I used to collect Pokemon cards. It's people who never stopped. And it's people with platforms of hundreds of thousands. I had all the 150 memorized. So I love Pokemon. I stopped, life took me a different direction, started doing music and stuff. Sold all my cards, which I am mad because I had a Charizard. Uh, Sold it off like $300 when I was like 13. At the time, that was a lot of money, but could be rolling in dough right now. But had I known, and I know a lot of the older generation, they shun that kind of stuff. It was more like do this, do that. Don't nobody want to you 18 talking about a Pokemon card. Back, and I would say it was a time where that was not acceptable. But now that the internet has opened up the world, it's plenty of people who will resonate with you, your voice, your lack of better dorkiness, weirdness. Like I love like Pokemon stuff. I love anime and all this stuff. And at 35 years old, it's not frowned upon anymore. Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, and so there you go. You can inspire others. It's somebody else who was scared and they was waiting on somebody like Nicole to do a video. And then Nicole came across their screen and they figured, man, if Nicole can do it, I can do it too. And so, yes, you might be all the things that you name, but you have a community of people out there who are the same way. And that's the beauty of content in 2025. Now, back in the day when I was talking about the TV stations made the content and the businesses bought advertisements, back in those days, it weren't many avenues to kind of get together with people and share and all this stuff. But now you have communities all over the world that are digital or in person, or they turn digital to in person where they meet up and stuff. So it's something for everybody. So don't think you are too weird, too out there, too creative, too off the wall, any of that stuff. Like you legit can find a community and build one yourself. So yeah, and that's why doing something like this. Sorry, y'all. I need some water. My mouth is dry, so that's why I keep rubbing my lips. But so that's why it's good to figure out, your persona. That way, when you go into making content, you understand the real you. And when I did this in person the other week, and I bought it to the people who came to my event, somebody was like, "Well, in my business, I got to be this and I got to be that. I got to be like all of these things to help my clients." That's cool. But what you're trying to do here is pick the things that you're just most natural at, that you feel that you are like the most, like curious, artsy, silly, friendly. Yeah, you might have to be different things in your business, but I'm talking about you as a person. What do you naturally feel you are when you're picking these things for your persona? That's what we're trying to get to the nitty gritty of, because you can't talk to everybody like on your content. Not saying you can't, but again, most times when you try to talk to everybody, no one feels important. And so if you have a product that can really help women struggling with a thing, but all your advertisement is everybody. Come on down, and everybody can do everybody. That woman might feel like that product just ain't for her. But if you speak to, hey, are you a lady from the ages of 35 and you're struggling with this? Listen, we've come up with a solution that can help, and we've solved this problem, and we want to help you solve it. She feels like, oh, they're talking to me, like that they're talking directly to me, trying to reach everybody, and some might land, but it's not going to be like when you choose to actually talk to somebody. And so communication style, went over that. So yeah, you might be a writer, so you might have to do blogs and thing called Substack, or you might start a newsletter. Content newsletter is content. It ain't all videos. Just want to let y'all know that too. Content is not only videos. You can start a newsletter and write to people every week because you're a good writer. You love writing. Uh, you now you got to use social media to promote it to get people to sign up for the newsletter. But this can be your bread and butter. Graphics or visuals. So you might be a designer. You might like photography. You might like taking pictures on your phone. So you might can tell a story through images, through graphics, through art, through expression, or interviewer. You might be very good at pulling stuff out of people. Like you might ask very good questions and get people talking. So you might want to start a podcast. So you might have an interviewer style. So just think about that communication style. All right, so here's some examples. You got a person that they chose high energy, they are an adventurer, they like to talk, and they like to use short stories. And so 3 traits, they were brave, curious, and silly. So tone of voice, high energy adventurer, they post a short story video of something they're, starting or initiative or something they're jumping into. The hook. I tried batch filming on my phone for the first time. And so they're jumping out there trying something. And so it's like, hey, I struggle with content. So, I don't know what to post day to day. So today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show y'all my first attempt at trying to batch record all of my content for the month. And so boom, there you go. Um, So here's what they might say. I shot 5 clips in 5 minutes. I edited them in CapCut and I put the titles only on the screen. And then posted one and saved for later. Then posted one and saved for later. Jesus. Sorry, y'all. So somebody said they got clips just sitting there they hadn't posted. And so that's good if you already got content already. But you don't have to like film something, post something, do something, then put it out, and then wait till the next day to do it again. You will have way more success if you batch stuff. So if you had 10 newsletters just sitting there waiting to roll out, if you had 10 videos you record all in one setting, you might change your shirt or something. Not every time. It's okay to put up like 5 videos in the same shirt. It's okay. Ain't nobody judging. And then do 5 more in another shirt, 5 more in another shirt. Boom. And you just say those for later. That way you're not bogged down with having to get up and record every day. The key is to post consistently, not record consistently. So you might get 30 days worth of stuff in a 3-hour recording day in one sitting. So that's what this person did. Call to action, share this with a creator who overthinks. So that's the video right there. High energy adventurer who is a talker who told a short story about how they batch content for the first time. They shot 5 clips in 5 minutes. They edited it in CapCut and then posted one, and they have 4 for later. Boom. That's a piece of content right there. And so you see how they combine everything we just did from the top to the bottom, put it all here, and then you got your content that you spit out. And so, man, this is a lot of content. We will have to skip some things. But any questions so far? Okay. All right. So before I go to the next section, I need y'all to give me like 30 seconds. I will be right back. And while I'm gone, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Uh, there we go. All right. Sorry, y'all had to give me a sip of water real quick. All right. So you said post consistently. How often is that? Daily, weekly, hourly? So that depends on your audience. That depends on your capacity. So consistently, I always tell people, consistent don't mean daily. That's not what consistent means. Consistent means you're gonna build trust with people by posting. Say I'm gonna do a live every Monday, and I'm gonna talk to my audience. Well, people gonna be looking for you every Monday if you start that. So if you say every Monday, meet me here, we're gonna go live, we're gonna talk through some stuff, we're gonna do some things, and people are gonna look for it. But if you're consistent with that, people know where to find you and when. And so you build trust with your audience because you are consistently posting at the same time or every week. Any tips for batching content to schedule ahead of time? Yes, so we're going to go over content map a little later. And so, but if you want like a software, and it's, again, I'm gonna put it's a batch of softwares in the presentation, but later is probably my favorite. Later, just like it's spelled. You can record all your stuff, edit it all, put it all in later, and schedule it all, and you just set it and forget it. So you doing some other stuff Tuesday at 8, you schedule it to drop, and you look on your phone, and boom, your video came out Tuesday at 8. And so that's the tip is we're gonna go over how to get content, how to get content ideas a little later. Then we're gonna use that to create a map. I do 10 days at a time because 30 can be overwhelming. And so I do 3 10-day content calendars. Uh, so that way you have quick wins and it don't seem like a lot trying to do 30 whole days. So yeah, that's my tip. Find stuff, and you can even do if you're on Facebook. Meta has a content calendar. My social media person who does our stuff, she uses Meta a lot, and because Meta does Facebook and Instagram because Facebook owns Instagram, and so you can schedule for both platforms on one or in your Meta Business Suite on Facebook. So later, Meta Business Suite, and now TikTok has like TikTok Studio. Most places are creating their own sort of content batching or software editing systems because they want you to stay on their stuff all the time. So, but you want to do something externally later is probably the most cost effective, and it gives you analytics and data and all that stuff, so you can kind of track who's doing what, where, and what's the results. Did that answer the question? Both of those questions. And Nicole, we do have a posting time section in this presentation as well. But again, the weekly, daily, monthly thing, you should be posting at least once a week, for sure. But again, the consistency is based on your audience and how they receive information. So if you got an older audience that follows your business or your brand, you might want to post like early mornings, midday, because they're gonna be in the bed by 7, 8 o'clock. So you don't want to post a lot of late night stuff. I'll leave with my attention span. Yeah. So you want to, but if you got a lot of young people, that it varies. So you just got to post at different times, see what time got the best engagement over the last 4 or 5 posts. So you post at this time and then post it again at this time, different times, and you see, oh, at 9 o'clock p.m., a lot of people started engaging and commenting. Or you say, oh, Tuesdays at 6 in the morning, a lot of people tune in because they watch. So it just depends on the type of content you're doing and who you're reaching. But just be consistent on posting whenever you say you're going to post, or building a rhythm to where if I'm an audience member, I know and I can guarantee you I'm getting a post from Mary every week, or Cavell every week. I know that I'm gonna get something from them at this time at this date. All right, so all right, this thing don't want to work. All right, okay, there we go. All right, so this is in the presentation. So this is for you to write down your own content personality based on the exercise in the slide before. All right, remember that formula. So who you are, what do you offer? So what I want to challenge people to think about is, I plan to post 3 days a week slash each day has a theme, but obviously life happens. Yeah, listen, if don't don't do stuff outside of your capacity. If you can only post one time a week, it's okay to do that. And then once you start seeing, okay, I can allot some more time, let me go to 2 times a week. But the goal is to give yourself a quick win. So post one time a week for a month, and you'll start to see your confidence kind of go up. But what happens is we tell ourselves we want to do these robust goals, and when we don't meet them, we get discouraged. So give yourself like small steps up to getting to your ultimate goal. So if your goal is to post three days a week, start with one, and then work your way to two, and then you're gonna land on three. But trying to start at three is a lot. Like that's a lot. And so give yourself that confidence booster by just starting and growing from there. All right. So everybody here who already has a brand, who already has a business or even thinking about one, I want you to think about what you offer a little differently. So this is your offer sheet that you're going to fill out as well. But I want you to think about what you really offer. And when I say that, I mean you. So I'm gonna go through this example. So your offer, and I use a cleaning business as an example. What you sell plus who it's for plus the problem you solve. And this is a cleaning business that we're talking about. Weekly home cleaning for busy parents who lose weekends to chores. Uh, that's what they sell. Feature what it is. The concrete thing that they get. They get two people that clean for 2 hours. Yeah. So just so you can see it, everything that I show you on the next page is gonna be blank like this. So you can then go fill it out for yourself because everybody's gonna get this presentation from Coastal later. So this is just an example we're going to go through. All right. So what is you get 2 people crew for 2 hours. The benefit cleans the whole house fast and consistently. The outcome, what do the person get? The practical results in their life. This is what they get. They get a free Saturday and a reset home. The actual value, what they truly buy and feel. This is your bread and butter right here. This is the real emotional payoff. They get time back and they get peace of mind. And so most people think they're selling one thing when they're really selling another. So if you're a cleaning service, you're giving people time back. You're not selling cleaning, you're selling time. And so once you understand that, you can start to create things around what you're actually offering. And so a lot of people approach it as this is what I'm selling, and they just stick to that, just only talk about that. No. So if I'm doing content, I'm showing somebody, I'm showing parents or people in the house having a good time. They out to dinner, they going to a sports event, they're supporting their kid who plays sports or are into something. They are on vacation, they're having a good time. I'm just showing them having fun. And at the end, I'm gonna show the cleaning and show this is what you can get if you go with our service. We provide time and peace of mind so you can do the things that you want to do. So that's why understanding what you truly offer is important. So if you again, now I'm coming back to you. Um, home phlebotomist, you're selling people convenience. You're selling them you're selling them time as well because they don't have to leave their house. You're giving them an option. You're selling them options. So I don't have to go to the hospital, the labs, and all that. I don't have to. Somebody, it's more personable. That's what you're selling. On the surface, yeah, you're taking people's blood, phlebotomy. That's what you're doing. But all these other things are tied into your offer. And so once you can tap into the person that you're selling to and what you're actually offering them, it's so many doors that open as far as content and promos and possibilities to reach that person. So this is the one line connection. So you get a 2-person crew, fast and consistent cleaning. You get a free Saturday. You get time and you get relief. These are all the things that you are offering. So you take all of that and you spit out a message that you can use to create content. So tired of sacrificing your weekends? We provide quick and thorough cleaning services, allowing you to reclaim your time and enjoy peace of mind. Schedule your appointment today. And so, yeah, that sounds like a promo, a commercial, but with that little line, we're going to show that what this sentence can get you is amazing. So let's go to the next slide. Again, that's for y'all to fill out. And I use a few different companies as examples. So we're gonna bounce around to a few different industries. Um, so this is the blank one for y'all to fill out. I went back. Okay. All right. So we're gonna keep moving. So this is the person. And again, by the end of this, we're gonna have a message summary, and we're gonna take that summary and we're gonna show you what you can do. Hopefully, nobody here is scared of AI because we're gonna use it a little bit. Here we go. So, who is your person and their desires? So, we don't learn who we are. We don't learn what we're offering. And now we're getting to know the people that we're offering it to. And so, I have a friend that has a cheesecake business in Raleigh, North Carolina. And so, I use their business as an example, as how you can understand the psyche of a person and when it comes to your product and what you're selling. So who are they? They as in the people you're trying to reach. So I like to pick one person. I don't like to do the not to start out the overarching the women from 35 to 55. That comes later. I like to pick one person. Everybody right now, while we're talking, get one person in your brain that every time you post, every time you do something, they commenting, they liking, they sharing. Get that one loyal supporter in your head, um, who bought multiple times, who booked you multiple times, and let's start with that person. So I'm gonna start with Brenda, the office manager. And so, what kind of person are you helping? Name the age, the gender, and the title role. So, Brenda is a 30 to 55-year-old office manager slash admin who organizes events for her coworkers. So, she that person at the office that get the party started. All right. So, goals and motivations of Brenda. So, what are the goals Brenda's striving for? She want to find easy team treats, client gifts, reliable delivery, on time pickup, and clean invoicing. So she wants professionalism, reliability, and she wants something fun and treats for the office. And so remember, this is for a cheesecake company. This is their person. What are the struggles? What are the pain points that Brenda has? Vendors usually miss delivery windows. So they were supposed to be here at 12. They got here at 1 o'clock. Um, Need labels and boxes for simple flavor choices. We don't want to have to sit there and sift through what kind of cheesecake it is, what's the flavors. We want you to have good, clean labeling, so I can easily get it to the people in the office. And I need individual portions and cleanliness uh, and ease. So basically, everything wrapped nicely and good and individual portions, so we ain't got to cut stuff and make a mess. Like we want you to kind of do all that when it shows up. And so that's her pain points. In the past, she's had struggles with finding people to deliver that. Um, what they will interact with when it comes to your brand, the channels. Like where is somebody like Brenda getting her information from? Instagram, Google, LinkedIn, email, local catering marketplaces, and groups. These are the places where Brenda's looking so she can find the next person who's going to bring treats to her office party. How do you help with pain points? All right, the triangle area service pickup. We offer triangle area service pickup slash delivery options, a clear signature menu, and reliable vendor relationships, along with reputable ordering and flexible dietary options. And so she got pain points, and this is how we meet those pain points. What type of content connects with them? What kind of content does Brenda use to make a decision? So people like Brenda like case studies from local businesses, PDF menus with quantities and lead times, how ordering works page, like I want to know how to do all this, and a process driven content to show professionalism. So when she goes to a website, she wants to see the process. She wants to know, click here, do this, do that, laid out clearly. She wants case studies. Oh yeah, we did a whole spread for uh, you know, a red hat in Raleigh. We did a whole spread for a corporate party for Toyota in Raleigh, North Carolina. They want to show what you did for them, how many pieces, how many things you cooked, how it looked. So you got to have pictures of the spread and the layout of what you've done for these other corporate companies. And so all this is content. You can make a piece of content that answers all of these at some point. Like you can take this profile and that's 6 pieces of content right there. Like where you walk through your process, you show this is what it's like ordering from or Naya. If you want to do your whole process of what it looks like from when they see your page to how they contact you to when you show up, what you come with, the you show yourself like doing the thing, how easy it is, show the client smiling and talking. You show that whole process from start to finish, you're going to get people like Brenda in the door. And that's one piece of content. You're just showing the process. And so at the end of it, you get a message summary at the bottom. Um, and I'm sorry, I should have zoomed in a little early. My bad, y'all. Uh, Dependable corporate friendly ordering, varieties for every meeting, local award winning quality that your team will remember. And so out of all this, you get this message down here. Right here. This is what Brenda is looking for. She's looking for somebody dependable, corporate friendly ordering, varieties for her office people. For every meeting, she wants professionalism, so local award winning quality. If you win awards, then somebody like you that your team will remember. That's what Brenda cares about in a nutshell. So when you're doing content, you keep this at top of mind with people like Brenda. That's why you got to identify who you're speaking to. Now, I ain't lost nobody, have I? Know that was a little in the weeds or whatever, but this is for a
Nope.
cheesecake. All right, cool. This is for a cheesecake company appealing to an office manager who is going to hire them to do a corporate spread for an event. All right, so let's use this. We did all this work, and I'm going to show you how it pays off. If this thing will let me be great. All right, there we go. All right, so that's your blank sheet for you later on. So with those messages that we got from our offer, our person, all of this stuff, you can now map out content based on. And now, if you notice, we did all that work to end up with one sentence. We didn't overcomplicate it. We did all that just to end up with that. Those couple sentences. And so this is how we're going to use it. We're going to use that sentence that Brenda wants, and we're going to map out some content. So content pillars. So I'm not going to stay too long on this, but you don't have to do all of these. You just got to pick 3 to 5 of these that you find yourself you can do pretty easily. So educational content, problem solution content, product and service, proof and trust, which is testimonials, reviews, case studies. This is probably every company should be doing this. Anybody with a business, anything should be doing proof and trust. Because everybody, you got to share testimonials. You got to show other people who like what you got going on, who you want other people to talk about what you're doing. You can talk about it, but the more other people talk about it, for one, that's less work on you. And 2, people like to hear from other people. The company going to tell me whatever they going to tell me. They got to make themselves sound good. But if I hear it from other people, I'm more inclined to like go and support that business or that thing because other people are championing this thing. Brand story. Tell your story often as you can. We started this because of this, this, and this, and we want to do it to reach these kind of people. You should be doing that kind of content, a lot. Community UGC. UGC is user generated content. That's what I was just talking about. You want users to generate your content for you. This is where you go get influencers and you go partner with people and you tell people, hey, can you leave me a review? Can you make a video about my product or service and put it up and tag me? All of that. So pick, these are your pillars. When you're starting to map out content, figure out which ones feel natural to you. Which ones you see this list and you're like, oh, I can do that, or I can do one of those. So yeah, that's for you later to pick, which ones you feel good about. So this is a little test based on that last thing that we did. All right, company is Treats by Arve. That's the cheesecake company. And this is that message that we spit out for Brenda. Reliable, corporate friendly ordering, options for every meeting, local award winning quality that your team will cherish. Boom. All right. So we're going to go to Chat GPT. So I already did this for you. So we ain't got to go. Should I be sharing my 5-star reviews from my heck yeah. I would say, so Nicole, Um, I have a medical training facility as a client. And when I show you the difference, and I don't have it on this, but if I show you the difference, they had 10 followers when I came in to help. The first thing I did, just to move the needle a little bit, was went to Google. She had so many 5-star reviews, screenshotted the reviews, put it on a Canva thing, put her colors and stuff around it, and just started putting up those reviews. And in a week, her page started growing like crazy. Um, and so testimonials, reviews, if you already have them, you're sitting on a gold mine. Because again, it's just free content, and you're hearing it from other people's perspective. So yes, answer is yes. You should be sharing those. Is the quiz showing something we can get a copy of or fill out? Yes, Christina, you're going to get this presentation. So I left those blank pages in there, so you can go and fill it out yourself. It's going to be a PDF. It should be fillable, but if it's not, y'all let me know. And I don't know when they're going to. I'm going to send it to Coastal, and Coastal will send it to you. So reviews, I would probably share, depending on how many you got. So if you have about 15, 20 reviews, I would maybe do one a week. I came in with a client who had 700. It was a fragrance brand and had 700 reviews on Google. So I was putting up 2, 3 a week because they just had so many that I knew I wasn't going to run out no time soon. Still ain't ran out. That was 3 years ago. So it depends on how many you have. If it's a short amount for right now, just do like one a week. It's okay. And if it's on Instagram, make it a highlight on the top of your Instagram where it says reviews. 362. You good. I would do, yeah, 2 or 3 a week for sure. Yeah, you should be good. All right. So, um, we put this in Chat GBT, no problem. And put that same message in. This is how that one message, when we figured out what Brenda wanted, this one message can get you so much content. So we put it in Chat GBT and we asked it, what pillar should I choose based on that pillar list that we had 2 slides ago? I fed it that pillar list. I said, these are pillars that, and I asked ChatGPT, based on this list of pillars and based on this message of Brenda, who we trying to reach, I asked ChatGPT, how many people are using chat now or some kind of AI? Y'all give me a thumbs up. I put it in there and I asked it to give me a list of content ideas just based on this one thing right here. And so this is what we got. You see what's at the top? Proof and trust. Even chat said the same thing. So it validates dependable and award winning. So it's telling you why they chose these pillars based on this message that I fed it. And so this is content, y'all. So proof and trust validates dependable, award winning, onboarding and how to buy. So chat is saying you should be doing how to buy videos. So if I'm a cheesecake company, if I don't have a how to buy, how do people know how to buy? I'm just assuming they just know. And yeah, something that's common sense to you might not be common sense to others. And so how to buy shows people like Brenda who appreciates that. So if I got some content out there, hey, what's going on? This is Treats Bar We're going to walk through and show you how to buy some award-winning cheesecake. And then they pop up to a screen recording of their website. First, you want to go here, you're going to check out our selections, you're going to hit this, and you're going to go to your cart, and just newsflash. We got a promo code this month of Cheesecake 2025. And so if you put that in, you're going to get 30% off. And then boom, this is how you check out. We got Apple Pay, we got Affirm, we got all this. You can do all this at checkout, blah, blah, blah. And you just got a video telling people how to buy your thing. Like, that's it. People appreciate that stuff because it takes the guesswork out. We only on number 2. Product and service, showcase varieties for every meeting. So this is where you just got, if you already got a product or so, you should be showing this already. Of just showing the variety that you offer. And you don't have to put all your variety in one post. You can have a post for every flavor that you offer. But people like to see that when they're going through your socials and when they're looking at your content. FAQs is another gold mine because you can make a piece of content for every FAQ. Anybody know what FAQ means? Frequently asked questions. And so you should be making content answering frequently asked questions. They're frequent because people don't know and they haven't seen the answer to this question yet. So if you're tired of answering questions, just make content around it. So if someone says, how do I get to your bakery? If you have a brick and mortar, you literally can just drive down the street and have somebody in the passenger seat, like, hold up the phone and show you pull it in. Like, we're over here between the Hardee's and the McDonald's off of 21st Street. So this is what you do when you pull in, go around to the side, we're on the back of the building. That's content right there. Somebody said, like, hey, you offer gluten-free. Boom. That's a whole nother piece of content. Did you know that we offer gluten-free cheesecake? Now, it's not in all our flavors. It's maybe we got butter pecan and we got strawberry. Those are the only 2 that's gluten-free, but we're working on more options. So we have something for everybody. So if you need, boom. Does it taste different? Boom. Does it taste different? There you go. She just asked the question. And so in that content, we got gluten-free. Now, it is a little difference in taste because gluten has, you're taking out certain things when you do gluten-free, but it's still good. We worked many hours to make sure that you still had a good cheesecake, even though it's gluten-free. You see how that she asked one question and it added to the video. So if you're not asking your customers questions and you're not welcoming feedback, then you won't know this stuff. And if you get more frustrated at frequently asked questions versus using them to create content, then you're using it wrong. Frequently asked questions, again, is a gold mine. And so number 5, process behind the scenes. That's self-explanatory, showing you making a cheesecake, showing you, in the back with your crew, or, showing you, from start to finish what the process looks like to make a cheese, like that kind of stuff. Showing you behind the scenes as you go take the cheesecake to Brenda to the office and you getting the reactions. You might stay and say, hey, can I get a few people trying the cheesecake from the office? And they're like, yeah, for sure. I actually did that. We went to the office. I went with them, shot content, and we used that for a few weeks. Seasonal occasions, so like holidays, make sure you're doing stuff for that. Comparisons. Don't be afraid of comparisons. One of the best tactics I've used is I made a blog for one of my clients for a fragrance company. And I did the top 5 fragrance companies in Raleigh, North Carolina. To this day, that was almost 3 years ago. If you type in top 5 fragrance companies in Raleigh, North Carolina, the company that I did work for comes up first. Because that article that I wrote in that blog is still the top thing that comes up when you type in top fragrance companies in Raleigh. So it's okay to do comparisons. Like, it's okay to spotlight other people in your field who do the same thing. You just got to put yourself like, number 1 or something like that. But people hate that because I want to spotlight nobody else. Nah, if you're in the industry, say you're a baker, you should shout out the top 5 bakers in the area that you're in. And that's going to get people to want to try and then they're going to try yours as well. And you're sharing the love. People show it ain't a lot of competition, et cetera, et cetera. It's comparison is not bad at all. And so loyalty and retention. turns one meeting into a monthly contract. And so these are the pillars that chat spit out. Uh, and so these are now I'm gonna let you know it spit out way more than this. I only want to do one page, so I fit it all on one page, but I only chose 4 to do. But these are all the ideas the chat spit out. Mind you, this is all we gave it. This is all we gave it right here. And we got all of this. So if you ever stuck on what should I post? I don't have any ideas. I don't know. Like, use this to kind of guide you, find out, who you are, what you're offering, who the person you're offering it to is, what they need, and you just get that sentence, and that sentence can build on everything. So we got 20 minutes. So it spit out this education/how to. Now, mind you, all these are 4 pieces of content. How to order desserts for a 10, 25, or 100-person meeting sizing guide. So boom, you just do a video talking about the size cheesecakes you make. Like if you get a 10-inch, it feeds 10 people. That's it. That's content. How to set up a no mess dessert station in 5 minutes. That's a reel right there. Proof and trust. Testimonial titles from office managers. Setup was labeled an on-time case study. 6-month recurring order for a 200-person campus. You just boom. These are all reels. Award badge plus the short origin of the winning flavor. So the Cheesecake Company, I know they won the best cheesecake in the state at the state fair. This is my homies. I'm proud of them. And so taking that, putting the journey, putting that, we went to the state fair, showing you, pulling up to the state fair, showing you how you look while the judges are tasting your cake or stuff like that. All that is content. And you don't have to create, you're just documenting what's happening. So yeah, these are ideas that chat spit out based on this one sentence. That's it. So we're gonna move forward because time is running out. All right, so thank you so much. I'm glad it's helpful. So customer journey stages. So you have awareness, you have consideration, you have decision, you have onboarding, and you have loyalty. And it's similar to the purposes of content that we said at the beginning. So at any stage, this is where your customer is in one of these. So awareness is I have a problem. I need cheesecake. Consideration. What are my options? Okay, what's the best cheesecake in Raleigh? Let me type it in. And so if you ain't done content that will pop up on Brendan's screen, you won't be in consideration for coming to that office. And so decision, why you and how do I buy? So that's why this content is important to speak to all these different places of a customer journey, is because as they're making a decision, if you have a clear why you should buy and how you can buy or how you can get involved, because everybody don't have a business, how you can sign up, how you can do the thing, you got to have the how somewhere. You got to talk about it. This is how you can do this. This is where you can go and buy this. This is where you can go and book this. You have to put that. So that helps them make a decision. Onboarding. Okay, I don't book. Now what? I don't bought. Now what? What are the next steps? I found you. I liked your content. I like what you were talking about. What kind of content is going to reassure them? Like, oh, I made the right decision. That can be email, newsletter, stuff like that. That when they sign up, they get something. All this is content. Content ain't just social media. They get an email, with 5 tips on how to throw a good office party, and you put your cheesecake as one of the tips. Boom, that's content. They get that email as soon as they sign up. Loyalty and advocacy. Boom, as soon as they finish the order and you dropped it off, and the next day they should be getting an email saying, get 20% off your next office party order. Boom, 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 just because you bought with us this time. And that's taking them through a journey. That's the customer journey. And so this chart is just examples of walking. What kind of content can you do to meet Brenda at any point of this journey? So Brenda is at the awareness stage. This is her question. What dessert will wow guests without stress? Content idea. Top 5 birthday crowd pleasers. Format. A 20-second reel. And you're just highlighting 5 birthday flavors that will be a crowd pleaser. Call to action. View our menu and book your party today. Boom. Even tell you the call to action. Success indicator, link clicks. So you look on your Instagram or your TikTok or your Facebook and you see people clicking like a mug, like, man, they really enjoying this top 5 birthday post. And you see the success by how many people are clicking it. So this is your customer journey chart that you can walk through yourself. And you walk through what that looks like for you and your audience. So let's do one more. Brenda is in the decision phase. She's in the decision phase. So you do content that says pickup timing freaks me out. This is her problem. She's like, I can't stand when they late. We only got an hour for lunch. They had this office party. So I need them to be on time. That's what's freaking her out. Your content can be how pickup works in 30 seconds. So she got that problem. She's confused. She's like, man, I'm tired of all these people dropping the ball. And you reassure her when she click on that video and you got a how to pick up works in 30 seconds. That can be a reel on IG, YouTube story, TikTok, all that. Call to action. Choose your window time. So book the day, choose your time, and we will be there when you need it. And so a success indicator is checkout starts. Not finishes, but people who make it to the checkout. You got data that can tell you where they came from. So checkout starts is what I'm thinking is success. If I see 200 people get to the checkout, all of them might not finish, but out of 250 of them buy something, then that's a pretty good conversion rate. So that's your customer stage thing where you can make content based on where your customer is. And so you should be making content for all these stages. It don't mean you got to label it these, but you should have some type of content that answers these problems right here based on your customer persona. If I lost anybody, let me know. And of course, this is yours to fill out. You got your own journey chart here. All right, content calendar. We're almost there. All right, so this is an example of a content calendar based on all the stuff we just did. You done found out who you are, your offer, your person. You got some ideas from ChatGPT. Found out where your customer stage stuff is. Now it's time to make a calendar based on all of that. So November 1st, I'm gonna do a LinkedIn because again, we're going after office managers. So if I'm a cheesecake company, I want to be on LinkedIn because office managers are on LinkedIn. And so proof and trust. So this is your calendar. This is what you decided to do. So on November 1st, I'm going to do a LinkedIn post. It's going to be in the proof and trust category in my content pillars. I'm going to do a topic on time delivery and labeled boxes. Like, did you know, all our boxes are labeled? We got butter pecan, we got strawberry, we got, and then we're going to, we're going to be to you at least an hour before your event starts just to set up and make sure everything is good. And we're going to make sure you're taken care of. Now, what's crazy is I'm saying it out loud, but it can be a video. It can be a single image. It can just show the labeled boxes. And all the descriptions on LinkedIn can just be you describing it in written form. And call to action, add us to your vendor list. So you tell them to do something. Hey, you might not have a party this week, but add us to your vendor list for the next time you need some good quality desserts. We got you at Trees by Arve. Boom. And that's all in the post on LinkedIn. That can be a video, that can be an image, that can be words, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm not going to go through all the days, but as you can see, you got the dates, where you're going to post. You don't have to post on everything at the same time every day. This is the category that you're going to choose. I'm going to do a comparison video. I'm going to show my process. I'm going to answer a question. I'm going to show a product. I'm going to do an onboarding, 3-step corporate order. I'm going to show you what it's like when you do ordering with us. So this is how you create the calendar. And of course, you got your own right there. You can make your own, build your own once you get this presentation. Okay, content creation. So we're going to go through this pretty fast. These are your content types. You got the pillars, which are, they're more like type of posts. These are like what the actual posts are called. So you can do, when you do graphics, you can do infographics, carousels. How many know what a carousel is? Who doesn't know what a carousel is? Okay. You do or you don't? No, okay. So a carousel is not a ride at a fair, you know, uh, but it came from the name because it's like a revolving um, thing of images. So carousel is a graphic with like 5 slides. You probably seen this on Instagram, and it says something like to uh, 5 ways to for your mental health, and you just slide over. Each graphic gives you a tip. 5 ways to better your mental health. There you go. And then you slide over, say tip 1, get enough sleep. You slide over again. Tip 2, make sure you're eating right. Slide over again. Tip 3, make sure you find a therapist. Like that's what a carousel is. It's just kind of like a revolving door on like Instagram or so. It's just slides basically. So you can make a graphic talking about your business in a carousel form. Um, so it's really 5 graphics that you're going to post at the same time in the same post. So that's what a carousel is. So yeah, all these are different types of content. Of course, live videos, long form. Long form are like podcasts, infographics, talking about statistics, um, stuff like that. Social posts, case studies. So these are your types of content, and take note of the ones you think you could do easily. So just think about it. You definitely don't have to do all of these. 2 or 3, master those, and then maybe pick up some more. Hook, value, close. So when you're doing content, make sure again you got that hook, you provide value, and you end with a closer. So you always open up with, hey, Halloween is around the corner. It's already passed, but Thanksgiving. Hey, Thanksgiving is around the corner. Value. Did you know that most people hate the dessert at Thanksgiving? They hate tired of their grandma's cakes or whatever. So the close is, so what you should do is book Treats by RV and let us take care of dessert at Thanksgiving this year. Boom. And so the hook could be tired of your grandma fruitcake, tired of your grandma's, banana pudding, blah, blah, blah. Like you just start with something that's going to catch their attention. Like, you know what? Maybe I am. Or nah, I love my grandma banana pudding, but I still listen. But it captures their attention and it keeps them there. So follow this formula, no matter if you're doing voiceover, newsletter. The newsletter, the hook is the subject line. when that newsletter comes in is how you're going to hook them to open that email. What value is in that email? And at the end of that email, what are you telling them to do? All right. So I'm definitely not going through all of this, but this is like it helps you when you're trying to think of how to start a video, what words to say, kind of like helps you kind of lay out a format for your content. I use natural hair wash day mini course. And so the question, who are you positioning? I'm Darius. I help women figure out how to wash their hair properly if they're natural by using this, and this. So these are just prompts to get you to like fill in to, when you do content, it can kind of give you some ideas of where to start. So what you're offering, if you do a post about that. So you'll get, 3 products if you that will help your hair grow in 30 days by doing these 5 steps. Blah blah. Oh, that's yeah. So that's just another. The rest of these are just kind of like tools, nothing to really teach, but stuff that can just help y'all. Now that you did all that other work, and you start to create the content. Of course, it's blank, so you can fill out your own. They kind of help guide you. So this is about using what you have. I'm a firm believer, and you can build a whole brand. I've seen it many times of brands being built with just a cell phone. You don't need to go spend $1,000 on the camera, but you need to know how to position that phone or position uh, that device so you can get the best out of it. So, if one tip I can give really quick, never turn your back to the sun. So, right now, if it was daytime, I'm in front of a window, but it's nighttime, so I got a light over here that's on. But if it was a daytime, you'll see a lot of window light coming through, lighting my face up. Never put your back this way with that window behind you. It's a never. You will have absolute terrible. You look like a silhouette, basically. So that's just one tip. Second biggest tip I got for people: buy some lens wipes and wipe your camera lens off, because that's the number one culprit of bad content is blurry, fuzzy, smudged up videos because people didn't wipe the camera off before they started recording. But these are some tips that can help, and some of that is in there. You said interesting, Angela. Why is that interesting? Uh, Microscope cleaner. I mean, that could work. Any cleaner works. That works on a surface like a glass surface. All right. So, like I said, you guys are going to get this presentation. So these are just quick tips. This is a checklist. So, and I think I might have put this in here twice. But yeah, so when you finish or when you're creating content, if you want to have a list to make sure you're hitting all the things, you don't have to hit all these. All right, Nicole, thank you for joining. No problem at all. No problem at all. No problem at all. So yeah, so this is a content checklist to make sure, again, if you don't hit all these at the same time, it's fine. But really, the ones that matter is clear sound, clear message, and just good lighting. So if you got those, then you're good. But go through this checklist, and you can start to check off more and more every time you post. Then you start to become a master at creating content. And so this is the master tool list I told you about. So these are softwares and things, and I put in that free or low cost. And so I use quite a few of these when I'm doing things. And so some of the questions y'all asked about what software we're going to use, batch content, uh, you'll see a lot of those answered here. So that's just for y'all, so y'all can have something to go by when you're looking for tools. Posting time. So this is somebody asked about weekly, daily, monthly. So this is kind of a guide on. All right, so all right, Christina. So I'm gonna send this presentation to Coastal, and they will send it out to everybody who registered on tonight and everybody who was on the call. So yeah, so you'll be getting that in your email in the next few days. All right. So those about posting times, how to kind of test that. And I thank you so much for joining, Christina. Um, so I'll actually put links to equipment that you can get. So that is here. And this is like a cheat sheet to show you kind of the tone of each like major social media platform that's out right now. So it gives you kind of like if you're on Instagram, the tone is more conversational and inspiring. And so reels and carousels are the best for Instagram. 15 to 30 seconds. Attention spans are shorter. Um, behind the scenes, how do we plan content, stuff like that. Like that works better on Instagram. LinkedIn, of course, is professional and story driven. Photos, native videos, and so 45 seconds to 90 seconds. Um, and it's an example of what running a small agency taught me about leadership. Example. So this is just examples of the tones on different platforms. Oh, I took that blank out of there. But yes, that is it. Yeah, I had to run through it fast. I usually teach this in my workshops, and they're usually like 4 or 5 hours. So I had to condense that down. And so you will get this presentation. You will have those tools to fill out on your own. And so if anybody has any questions, this is the Q&A time. Thank you so much, Mary. Wow, thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. There you go. I see that's what I'm talking about. Serena, please tag me. I want to see it. I'm just grabbing. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. I saved these so I can show them. So yeah, if y'all like it, please encourage more people to sign up. This was the biggest class I've ever had. So wow, I was blown away. And that everybody pretty much stayed. Like it's still 14 participants uh, on this call. Usually we get about 5 or 6 people, and they don't participate much. So, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. So, Mayor, I'm glad you joined us tonight, and we're gonna get you a business started soon. Can I do one on TikTok? Oh, a class. I sure can. I sure can. I sure can. I actually on TikTok I have 51,000 followers on TikTok. So I can definitely do one on there. That's one of my biggest platforms that I have. And I'll put my TikTok so y'all can go check it out. What's crazy is I haven't done any content because when they did the shutdown in January, I have been locked out of my account and cannot get back in. So I've been fighting with these jokers for about 6 months. That's my TikTok. My nickname is Boo Daddy. It's a childhood nickname. So that's what my TikTok name is. I've had it my whole life. So IG, IG is the same thing. I got my company page is Bujoy. But my IG is what I just put right there for my personal. But yeah, I am on all the above. This is cool. And did anybody have any questions? I'm flattered that it's no questions, but if y'all do, please let me know. I'm here. It's over 8 o'clock, but I don't mind staying. Man, it was a lot of people who didn't even say anything. I'm glad y'all. All right, Robert, appreciate that. Appreciate you coming. Miss Rhonda, how you doing? I don't know you, but I appreciate you. Thanks for all the first time people who joined. Well, my email is right there. If y'all have any questions, let me know. Yes, Vicky, how you doing? How you doing? You were quiet tonight, but thank you for joining. All right, Serena, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing that tag tomorrow. Well, so I'm doing my next one is December 9th. Yeah, December 9th. That's my next class. Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all so much. Like I said, I'll stick around for a few minutes if there are any questions. Whew, Lily, you put me on the spot. All right, let me see. What is that? I teach for about 4 colleges, so I be getting it mixed up sometimes. So let me see. The class on the 9th will be about, oh, it's my brand identity class. So that is one of my favorite. So let me share this with you. So that is the link for the next one. And I'm probably gonna be sending out an email pretty soon. But yeah, brand identity. I dive into how to get down to the identity of your business or your organization or whatever you're doing, how to pull that out so that you can create a brand. So when we're talking about being consistent with colors and tones and voice and all that stuff, that's where we dive into that is how do you understand the identity of who you are and what you're doing. A lot of people just have a passion, they just start it, they just put out the product, and so they don't really think about that until later. So that's what that class will be about, is pulling out the core of your business. So yeah. All right. So I'm not seeing any questions. Man, this has been fun. Thank y'all for sticking around. Even the ones who are still here. I'm surprised anyone's still here, but thank y'all for sticking with me. All right. Lily, I look forward to seeing you in December. Yes, and it's my info here. If anybody needs anything. And like I said, I'll be sending this over to Coastal, and you will be getting a copy. So thank you, everybody. I'm about to shut it down. I don't see any questions. So until next time, like I said, I put the link right here. And if everybody want to register for that, I'm gonna leave it up for about 30 more seconds, and then I'm gonna close out the room. But thank y'all for joining. I appreciate everybody for sticking to the end.